Hello boys and girls, my name is Halsey and welcome back to Space Age Factorio here on Nauvis. If we look at our research, we can see there is basically not much left that does not require space science. So it's probably safe to assume that this is the next logical step. For space science, we need at least a rocket silo. So let's add that here. We probably don't need that many. And in order to produce rockets, we need some more stuff. Namely, low density structures, rocket fuel, and the processing units. So in order to get there, I think we will plop down one more factory for the processing units, and we have to come up with a design for the low density structures, although we do have some production going for the yellow signs, and we need the rocket fuel, and then we need to have one hexagonal, I think, where we launch the rocket and receive the space science. And we probably want to have a different hexagon for things that go further on if we build spaceships and travel between the different planets, which will happen in the next episode anyway, in the next series anyway. So let's figure out this first part first. I have created myself a blueprint for the blue processing unit factory, so we can actually take this and plop this down wherever we need it, because I think over the whole process we will need quite a few of these, because the output is not as high as we have it for the green or the red circuits factory. And if we look at our setup, I think I want to place it here. There it fits nicely. And I also have upgraded my my armor, have it a bit bigger, having a portable fission reactor, as well with exoskeleton, a few laser defense. It should help against aliens, but we probably also want to have ourselves supplied. So let's take these boxes and add them in here. And I already set up some things here that I want to have in my inventory. And then I can replace all the chests with supply chests where we need them. And we will also need roboports to cover the supply. And then up here we have this this? Oh, here we probably want to limit. Was it already 50 chests? Well, let me grab a few more. We need them here. I don't think we need any more of the yellow inserters. And then we need roboports. Here we just need to have the coverage. But I think down here we basically want to have a whole array. And add even more, because loading the robots, that might be the thing that slows everything down. And with that, I should get well supplied, and then we can just move about over here, stand in one place until we run out of material, and resupply ourselves, and do things that way. And then as a next step, we also have to have the rocket fuel and the what was this? The low density structures. We also need those, but one step at a time. The factory for another factory for processing units is in and producing, so that should be enough to supply rockets, at least at the beginning. We will see. And I have tried to figure out how to do rocket fuel. And good thing is, we only need light oil as an input, and we should get a yellow belt of rocket fuel out. And the only thing that basically limits us here is the speed of the belts. Here, if we use red belts, we need 5 red belts to transport the solid fuel to the assemblers that need it, and with 50,000 liters oil consumed per minute, we also need more than one pump. But the setup from station point of view is pretty simple. We have one unloading station, one loading station, and with this setup, I think it makes sense to have something on this side and then the other thing on the other side. This squares the whole thing off a bit, which makes dealing with everything simpler. So I will add in the unloading and loading station, and then start with the first row of solid fuel and the last row of the rocket fuel. Here at the bottom we already have 2 of the required 5 factories for our solid fuel. We'll have to figure out how to bring in the liquid, because currently everything is in one pipe setup, and we basically have to have two supply lines from the tanks which are on this side. So I think one line going down to the lower part, one connecting up here, and then have a dedicated pump which basically supplies the upper part that we will do in a bit. Let's quickly connect up here the input of our light oil. We will pull this one down. We make a corner here and see. Yeah, we can add it here, and for this one we add it there. And that should supply enough light oil to produce everything. We will bring up the belts up here, maybe have a balancer 5 to 5, because here on top we basically have a pretty similar setup for the production of the rocket fuel. It's a few assemblies more that we need here, but we will just add another one down here. Bring that out like this. And connect there. And all in all, we need to have this. Let me make this connection here as well. We need to have 5 of these as well. So that's 3, 4, 5. And of course the red belt is for the solid fuel, and the yellow belt, that's for the output of the rocket fuel. Which means all we have to do now is connect the red belts and collect everything from the yellow belts, so we can have it here on our loading station. Everything is built up, save two pieces of pipe. One here and one there. And now we should see this kicking in, and that should give us quite a bit of rocket fuel eventually. I mean, rocket fuel production is never the fastest, but we get something out. We have here a station. We probably also want to have a train in that station, right? So we can do some loading. Change the color of the train to this one. That will do. And once we have then built our spaceport, we can have deliveries for rocket fuel. So that's 2 out of 3 things out of the way that we need for rocket production. A last thing is low density structures, and for that we have to figure out where we want to put it, and how much we can produce in one hexagon. and then probably we will struggle a bit with plastics, or more precisely with the petroleum, because here we can see tanks are empty because we have run out of crude oil. So that's just slow going, so we will have to deal with that as well at the end. From a factory point of view, the production side for the low density structures is pretty simple, because we just need the raw ingredients. We have just one step to produce. However, if we are looking at the requirements that we would need for one yellow belt of low density structures, we can see that we will struggle, because we need 300 copper plates per second, and even if we would use the blue belts, that's 7 belts that we need, and we cannot fill 7 belts from one station. So what I think what we need here is 2 stations for copper, 1 for steel, 1 for plastic, and then a pickup station. And layout wise, I'm thinking we will have the copper unloading here at the bottom, steel and plastic on the side, and then pickup at the top. And then we just have to figure out how to best get this whole setup working, because we will have, with 2 unloading stations, we will have 8 lines. So we need to divide 180 by 8, which will not be even. If we would have 160, that would be 20 assemblies per red belt, or blue belt, copper belt. So we will have to figure out how many we actually need there. But as always, let me first start with the loading, unloading stations, and then we see where we progress from there. I think I have figured things out. If we have a double row here that contains 24 assemblies, then we have a bit more assembly machines than we can actually feed, but better more than not enough. Here we have our 8 lines of copper that we feed in here in the middle, and on the outer side we have a split belt for steel and plastics. And this means we have to evenly distribute the steel and the plastic on those belts. And for steel we need lower amount, so we split it here, and then basically this line goes to 4 assembly lines, this one to 4 others. For the plastic we have a split here, so half goes down. We have another split here, halving it once again. So we have this line supplies 4, this line supplies 2, and then this line is for that one, and this one goes up 1 time for the next one. And if we copy this, we have 4, 8, let's count one row. That's 6, 8, 10, 12. That's our 24. And then let's connect copper here. And then I just have to stack this up 8 times. Not sure if I have the space here vertically, but I think we could just leave a bit room here and bring the materials over further to the left, and there have the necessary materials that we need. We need, however, power. Right. So, yeah, the last ones here also need power poles, and then it should work. And in the end, we have to bring down the output from these yellow belts, but that should not really be a problem. We just copy this. One, two, 3, 4. Yeah, I can see that we will be running into trouble. So let's remove those and bring the whole thing up quite a bit. So we have enough room here in the middle to bring all the raw materials that we need for the second block over. The right side with 4 factories is done, and as you can see, I also have added the lanes here in the middle. So what we now can try to do is take a copy of this. And move it up a bit. Okay, let's take the lower part first. Need it to there. If yeah, I think let's place it in here. Then this is the line for the plastics. That should go up there. And let's remove all the copper lanes here. And here we can come in with steel from the bottom. That works nicely. And we probably need power here from this side. And that should provide everything but the copper. But we can easily bring that over, and then we can just let's just place one of those here and copy this over. Here, yes, that aligns as it should. Don't need this one. And then we just have to hook up all the loose ends, belts and so, and especially the output. I think here on this side I will have the output belt going towards the middle, and then we can somehow in this belt mess weave in the output as well. The whole factory is set up, and all that's missing is the plastic, and by the looks of it it will be lacking for quite a while, because we are lacking petroleum gas. We are lacking petroleum gas because we are lacking crude oil. And if we have a look here, we can see that it's just not keeping up with our demand. So that's why I already planned out hooking up a second field over here, which still has a bit more. We need to wiggle this curve a bit so we can have this pump. But then we also have another one down here, for which we will have to extend our network out to that side. And I think hooking up these oil fields will be the first task next time, because if we cannot produce any low density structures, there is no way we will make it into space. Alright, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon in the next episode. Goodbye!